Hi, I'm Sarah and welcome to today's Daily Thought from the Frinton Free Church. Now, recently I was asked to attend a hospital appointment, so off we set to London. Normally we would take the Underground, it is a much quicker journey, but because the city was feeling quite empty, we decided to brave the big red bus. And just like tourists, we sat right at the top, right at the very front, with our phones out, ready to take every snap going of every iconic landmark in the big city. The bus was able to navigate every single street with so much ease. Why? Because the city was virtually empty, and it brought pangs of sadness to both me and Mum as we saw just how empty all the shops and the roads were. Since lockdown number 2 began, it's been really clear that celebrities have been trying to raise awareness and funds for the theatre industry, and we noticed on our bus journey through London just how quiet, eerily quiet, those places were, with nobody outside, the doors firmly shut, no music filling the streets. Performances on Children in Need even brought that feeling back to me, and you saw some of the singing and the acting that is just so desperately wanting to be shared with us, and the music that we love. Now, We Will Rock You will be forever my favourite theatre performance, but another one of my top 5 would be The Prince of Egypt. And I love the Exodus story and how it is retold in a musical way. I was extremely fortunate as well to be able to go and see one of the very last performances before lockdown, and I cannot wait for the theatres to reopen once more to hopefully pop along and see it once again. Now, in the performance, in the book of Exodus, we know that the people of Israel, along with Moses, are plagued with 10 plagues sent by God to punish Pharaoh and the Egyptians. They had to endure waters being turned to blood, swarms of frogs and lice killing off their animals, and then boils and hail and locusts and darkness, and then eventually leading to the death of the firstborn in each family. Finally, the Israelites were allowed to leave Egypt. Pharaoh commanded them to go, but as the Israelites were leaving, they could see in front of them the Red Sea. They knew that that was going to be a huge problem for them to overcome. But behind them, after all their journey that they had done, the Egyptian army were hot on their tail, trying to catch them up. Now, what were they supposed to do? Where were they supposed to go? At that time, they had no escape. Now, this could be a little too familiar to what you're enduring in 2020. Probably not a plague of frogs, locusts and flies, but of anxiety, of fear and of sadness. But just as God spoke through Moses then, he's desperate to speak to each one of us now. Moses said at the time, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and watch God do his almighty work." Then Exodus 14 verse 14 says, "God will fight the battle for you. You need only to be still." Now, during the theatre production of Prince of Egypt, one of the iconic songs is one called Miracles. And the chorus sings, "There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve? When you believe, somehow you will. You will when you believe." And the verse before it just says, "Although we know there's much to fear, we were moving mountains long before we knew we could." That's what God's all about. His work is about performing miracles. He can move mountains for us if we just believe. Now, we pray that one day, somehow, all of this will end. But in the meantime, don't be afraid. In the meantime, stand firm and be still. Trust the God of miracles. Pray and watch him do his almighty work. And then eventually, when the theatres do reopen safely, I urge you to perhaps go and see Prince of Egypt yourself, because the music and the acting and the scenery is just astounding to retell this incredible Bible story that God has shared with us. Have a great day.